He was shot down, captured, and tortured in a camp where men were treated like animals. They thought they'd break him, but every beating only made him stronger. This is the story of the man who walked through hell and came out unbroken. Japan, 1950. Former RAF pilot James Wright walked into a dojo and approached the sensei.
I was a wing commander, Royal Air Force. I spent time with your father in Bataan.
The man had known Wright's father. He'd met him in a prisoner of war camp, and he disliked this foreigner, ordering his students to attack.
Come on!
The powerful fighter easily dispersed the karatekas, and Sensei decided to stop the carnage. We flash back to 1942 on the Philippine island of Bataan. During an air battle, Wright's plane was shot down and he ejected. In the morning, a squad of Japanese soldiers searched for him. Wright buried his fallen comrades and hid behind a tree with a knife. He brutally killed 2 soldiers and fled into the forest, but was soon surrounded and forced to drop his weapon. The plump commander at the scene was about to execute Wright, but changed his mind and had the prisoner taken to a camp run by Lieutenant Colonel Ito, the sensei's father.
You only survivor. Don't shoot, Shiro. Hey!
The commander ordered the pilot beheaded and had him escorted back into the forest. The 2 guards stepped aside, leaving Wright alone with the chubby commander. Not ready to die, Wright freed himself and slaughtered the guards one by one. Then fled again, only to be captured and left hanging above the ground. Brought back to the commander, Wright now intrigued his captors because he had single-handedly wiped out the squad. The commander declared,
Today you are victorious, but tomorrow you die.
Wright was shoved into a barracks, where he would stay with a bearded man, a Greek, and an American named Villanueva.
I already killed 3 of Ito's men that he knows about.
He learned the weakest prisoners were being sent on a death march to another camp 60 miles away. Mornings began with battle cries. Ito was a karate fanatic who made his soldiers drill daily.
Puts them in there with his guards. He uses it as a training ground for them.
After training, Wright was forced to kneel. He expected to lose his head, but instead Ito spared him, preferring to stage fights for the camp's entertainment. Ito's best fighter was ordered to punish 3 Filipino prisoners. The first was knocked down instantly. The others fell quickly as well. The champion then prepared to face the British pilot. Realizing the danger, Wright clenched his fist and struck the fighter's head like an anvil. The beast dropped dead on the spot, and Ito, terrified, hid inside a tent. Wright met Captain Collins, and the prisoners celebrated their victory with moonshine. The newcomer told his fellow inmates that he had trained in Hong Kong, Thailand, and even Japan.
So was Hong Kong where you learned all that chop sake bullshit?
Something like that.
Ito became curious about where he came from. Later, Ito slashed Wright's cheek, took his father's British cross, and promised that Wright would die the next day.
Tomorrow, you die.
In the morning, the super fighter was brought into the arena. He was set to face 3 of Ito's best students at once. But Wright seemed unfazed. The Brit pummeled his opponents until none of them could stand. He could have strangled the last one, but chose to spare him. That day, Ito bowed to the new champion and hid in his tent once more. Although Wright hadn't killed anyone, Ito ordered the defeated fighters executed in his place. Meanwhile, the prisoners began secretly planning their escape.
Because in about a week, they're going to march us to another camp.
Their first goal was to steal a radio and alert their allies about their location. To lure the guard down from the tower, the prisoners started a fight. While chaos erupted, Wright, the most inconspicuous yet muscular one, climbed up the tower, grabbed the radio, and escaped just as the Japanese soldiers opened fire and broke up the brawl. But then Wright caught the nurse's attention. A gruff soldier began harassing her and even slapped her. Teresa wanted to escape just as much as the others.
You come to save us.
I'll do my best.
The next morning, Ito pointed at several prisoners and finally settled on a Filipino, accusing him of sneaking out of camp the previous night. The man denied it and said it was the dancing one. Showing no mercy, Ito ordered both of them beheaded. Jonesy, who knew how the two had escaped, told Wright about it. That night, Wright pulled away some rotted boards from the barracks and crawled out. Moving carefully from one shelter to another, he finally slipped past the fence and ran into the forest. By dawn, the guards noticed his disappearance. But for some reason, the young soldier on duty didn't sound the alarm. Wright hoped to contact his allies using the stolen radio, but instead of English, he heard encrypted messages in Navajo, meaning American forces were close. Later, Wright discovered a glider hidden in the bushes and informed his comrades.
Found the glider.
Well, yeah, no surprise.
If a plane flew overhead, they could use it to signal for help. Ito ordered the British man brought to him and began questioning him about the Navajo language.
You understand this language?
Why would I understand it?
You understand the Japanese?
Maybe Wright could translate it? Nobody understands Navajo except the Navajo.
And even if they did, why would any of the men want to help you or Japan?
That was the point. Wright was sent to the commander again. Ito was furious. There was blood, but Wright showed no sign of it. Ito decided to punish the Brit for his insolence and commanded that he be beaten with sticks. Men closed in from all sides and rained blows down on his body. Each toll of the bell seemed to bring more strikes. When the prisoner of war fell to his knees, his hands were untied. But the beating didn't stop. At one point, Wright even took a blow to the face. He wouldn't tolerate it. He rose to defend himself and leapt around the arena as if nothing had happened, defeating every man sent against him, yet again refusing to kill them. And Ito, enraged, personally executed half a dozen prisoners. Wright woke up 2 days later in a hospital tent.
Only Japanese soldiers get sent here.
Normally, only wounded Japanese soldiers were sent there, but Ito ordered that the Brit be patched up as well.
You're very strong. You stand up to Ito.
The next time Wright regained consciousness, he heard gunshots. Ito reported that an execution was underway outside.
Tonight, you rest. But
Tomorrow I die. Yes, I know.
Wright said he would rather have all the fighters survive than lose them. Suddenly, a series of explosions shattered the air. The Americans would arrive soon. If they did, Ito would act like a man with nothing left to lose, a suicide leader who would kill his own soldiers and the prisoners too.
nobody will survive.
That night, Wright didn't go into the jungle alone. He went with Gabriel. They were caught in front of the guards. Wright knocked a guard out, and Gabriel slit his throat. They spared one young soldier, the only one who had treated them kindly. He didn't raise the alarm until the prisoners had returned to the barracks. Captain Collins was blamed for the attack on the guard the previous day. Wright insisted he'd been walking around the camp, and the captain was caught red-handed.
You've got the wrong man. It was me.
I admire your courage, Wright.
An exhausted prisoner was dumped beside Wright.
You do forbidden move on him.
The man refused, and the Filipino was simply shot. That day, Collins had to fight for his life. He was brutal in the ring, attacking with a style as deadly as Wright's. Given Collins's clear advantage, the fight was stopped. All the prisoners were herded back into the barracks. That evening, Wright challenged Ito to a one-on-one duel.
Let's finish this now!
Wright told his comrades they should try to escape that night. They would have only one chance to send a message.
We have to do it tonight.
We want to send the radio signal out tonight.
As soon as they sent it, they knew the enemy would realize they had a radio and discover their location. Together with Gabriel, they reported the glider's position to the Americans.
I'm not between. Atsa.
When the two returned to the barracks, all the bunks were empty. At that moment, the Japanese stormed in and knocked the escapees unconscious. When they came to, the camp was already under heavy Allied bombardment.
The plane has crashed. Ito's gone, man. He's killing everybody.
Teresa freed the prisoners, and now they needed to retrieve the radio and get everyone out. The Filipino prisoners also tried to escape, but the Japanese killed them all. The escapees climbed up a tower as the Japanese executed one group of POWs after another. While Gabriel was calling for help, Wright opened fire on the soldiers. Took advantage of the chaos and scattered. Baroda went berserk, killing Japanese soldiers one by one. Captain Endo beat Gabriel badly and was about to kill him, until Captain Collins showed up just in time to save him. Endo spotted the same boar too, but it wasn't heavy enough to break his arm this time. Collins shoved the karate master aside and began beating him with one hand. Unfortunately, reinforcements arrived and Collins was shot. Realizing someone was missing from this fight for survival, Wright rushed into Ito's tent.
Nobody is running.
The samurai challenged him to a sword fight, but when Wright disarmed him, Ito immediately reached for his pistol. Wright threw it out into the street and was about to finish him off when Gabriel distracted him. The two tried to escape into the jungle, but Endo opened fire. However, the commander stopped him from killing the Brit. The surviving captives signaled the pilot and pulled the rope connected to the glider. They took their positions, waiting for rescue, but soon soldiers surrounded them from all directions. The fighter pilot swooped in and mowed them all down, including the young Japanese soldier. Now, no one could stop them from retrieving the glider. The American pilot handled the mission flawlessly.
She's holding!
Those who didn't manage to escape were forced onto a death march. Sensei asked Wright to demonstrate the forbidden move and challenged him to a fight. Wright didn't back down and kicked the Japanese fighter like he was his own son. The defeated man begged Wright to finish him with one final punch. But Wright stopped his fist just 2 inches from his face. Before saying goodbye, the Japanese fighter returned Wright's father's British cross.
My father told me that one day that white man will come for this.
James Wright bowed respectfully and left the dojo. If that ending hit you harder than Wright's one-punch move, smash that like button so more people discover this hidden gem of a story. And hey, subscribe before the next knockout recap drops.